Hi, everyone. My name is Chloe, and welcome to today's mini lesson on how to use AI to supercharge your interviewing skills. So my name is Chloe. I am the Director of Academic Success here at Nectar, and I'm really excited to guide you through this new approach for how you can prepare for interviews. In today's really competitive job market, interviews are really hard to come by. So with so many qualified candidates vying for similar positions, securing an interview is a significant achievement in itself. That's why it's really crucial to make a strong impression right from the start. The initial moments of an interview can set the tone for the entire conversation, making a positive impact being key to advancing in the hiring process. So whether you're a recent graduate, a seasoned professional, or someone looking to make a career change, mastering the art of interviewing can open up doors to a lot of new opportunities. So, what if you had a personal coach available to you 24/7 to help you practice and refine your interview skills? That's exactly where AI can come in. So, what we're going to do is we're going to leverage the power of AI to help you simulate a really realistic interview scenario. It's going to give you personalized feedback and hopefully gain insights on how you can align your interview skills to the industry that you're applying into. Hopefully, this preparation can be key to helping you stand out and succeeding in those rare and valuable interview opportunities. So, in this session, we're going to explore how to set up a tailored AI interview simulation. Then, we're actually going to conduct a practice interview with an AI acting as your hiring manager. And then we're going to have the AI actually analyze the conversation to give you feedback on how you can improve on your performance. By the end of this lesson, you'll hopefully have some tools and knowledge to help you take your interview preparation to the next level. So let's actually dive in and talk about how AI can be your secret weapon in helping you prepare for your next interview. So I've broken it up this mini lesson into 3 simple steps. Step number 1 is we're going to set up the simulation. We're going to give the AI with a lot of context to help you create a tailored, realistic interview experience. Step 2, we're going to conduct an interview. So we're going to engage in a really realistic conversation with the AI acting as your hiring manager. And then step 3 is we're going to analyze feedback, review and understand the AI's feedback to improve your interview performance. And you can actually take these skills and kind of repeat steps 1 through 3 until you feel very confident going into your next interview. So the skills I'm about to show you, you can essentially use any AI model out there to help you simulate this experience. I'm actually going to be using ChatGPT 4.0 to do this demo, but you can use Claude, Gemini, even Nectar to do this type of simulation. So I'm going to switch over to my ChatGPT, and we're going to start a conversation over here. So what I'm going to say is I'm just going to start by giving it some context. And for this mini lesson, I actually went ahead and found a open position at USC that's actually pretty aligned with my own resume because I wanted to use a very realistic experience. So here's USC's career page. I'm actually going to take the title of the role and copy and paste it back into my prompt. So, like I mentioned, I'm going to first attach my resume. I'm also going to copy and paste this entire job description to give the AI the full context of the role, responsibilities, and the qualifications necessary for this role. Before I submit, I'm actually going to ask the AI to ask me some follow-up questions to help tailor the simulation as realistic as possible. Let's see what the AI says. All right. So it starts to generate some questions to kind of help me tailor this experience. Now, looking at some of these questions, it looks very specific about the position. And I can answer these questions here, but if I'm trying to think of a normal hiring situation, the hiring manager might only have access to my resume and would not typically know about all this information. So I'm actually going to push the AI a little bit. So instead, I'm actually going to shift the focus of the AI and actually have them ask me questions about the simulation itself. So for example, I'm going to start answering these questions one by one. Since it's my first interview, it's most likely going to be a one-on-one interview. This is going to be my first round. It's going to be over Zoom. I want them to be my hiring manager. I want you to be the and for question 5, I'll just say surprise me. Because who knows? We don't really know what a hiring manager might or might not do. Same for 6. Let's see if there's other questions here that I want to answer a little bit more about. So for focus areas, let's say that I get really scared with technical questions. We're going to just make this 10 minutes just to kind of keep it short. And then I want to make sure I get feedback. Because normally in an interview, I won't know how I'm doing until the very end. Okay, great. So now we have a simulation set up with these parameters. And we're going to start up the simulation. So it starts by saying, thanks for joining us, Chloe. To kick us off, can you walk me through your background and how it led you to apply for the associate director role at USC Marshall? So I'm going to start sharing as if I was in this interview and answering these questions. The next question is, tell me one of your proudest accomplishments in either recruitment or a student-facing role. What was your approach and what did it make it successful? Now, For the sake of this activity, I'm keeping some of my responses short, but typically during a standard interview, you might spend a little bit more time in sharing some responses, but I want to kind of just show you what this entire simulation may look like. So I'm going to do this entire thing. So it says in this role, you'll help run 175 events a year, including major yield events for admitted students. Walk me through how you plan high impact outreach events from start to finish. What steps would you take to ensure it's successful? It says, let's say one of your key outreach events has significantly lower attendance than expected. How would you go about evaluating what was wrong? What would you do differently next time? This role involves using CRM tools to track prospective students and social media analytics to refine outreach strategy. Can you give an example of a time you've worked with data or tech tools to support a goal? The final question is, why should we choose you for this associate director position? Now that I've completed my interview, let's go over some feedback. So the AI starts by telling me what areas I did well, strong emotional appeal, and student-centered approach, thoughtful responses to event planning questions. I had a data-driven mindset. Now, opportunities for growth, expand with specifics. So, for example, in my choir concert, I was very high level about what I did, but it recommends that I can be a little bit more specific about how many students, how much money you raised, what the outcome was, because these are the metrics that people are looking at to show that I was able to produce these type of results. Event planning, when discussing how you plan an event, consider naming specific logistics, venue, run of show, details like that. Show more overall role alignment. So it seems like based on my responses, it wasn't exactly clear as to why I wanted to apply for this position. And overall technical confidence. Even though I did answer the question well, I can be a little bit more specific to show that this is an area that I feel very confident in. Now, these are pretty general feedback. I can actually ask the AI to dig a little bit deeper. So how about let's dive a little bit deeper on those areas of growth and what are some suggested sample responses this AI might recommend to just kind of help me think about different ways I can answer some of these questions. So starting with question 1, it said that I missed the chance to structure my experience. So this power of storytelling, which makes it much easier for the hiring manager or the recruiter to really understand the flow of what I'm trying to share. It's also my opportunity to differentiate myself. So coming back to the feedback of showing why I want this role, this is my opportunity to really dig into that and really show why I'm here and why I'm unique. Question 2, tell me more about your proudest accomplishment in a student-facing or recruitment role. I missed the opportunity to show more project management, which seems to be a reoccurring theme in some of the qualifications for this role. And so even though I shared this really cool project that I did, I didn't really show the skills that I bring to the table when hosting this event. It suggests using a format, situation, task, action, and result. So that could be a formula that you can kind of have in the back of your toolkit to help you structure a really good quality response. How would you plan a high impact outreach event? I missed the chance to talk about pre-planning events, staffing, registration. So again, more details to really show my knowledge. How would you evaluate a poorly attended event? Consider inputting more data sources, stakeholder input, and how you would apply that learning. So as you can see, the AI is able to really target some specific areas. I can continue to go from here. I can have them review my resume, for example, or even though for this role, I've already submitted my resume, maybe I'm looking for other roles with very similar descriptions. So I can ask for some feedback on how I can make more alignment to my resume. And I can upload it here again, just to see. And so it's able to kind of give me that targeted feedback here. I could even talk about my cover letter, things like that. Or let's say I passed the first interview. I can continue talking to this AI, prepare for my next. And let's say that I did already pass this interview. Now I can prompt the AI to simulate the next stage of this interview. And it already has this context of how I was able to do, what areas of growth I need to work on. And so it's able to kind of build on that context and to simulate another conversation. And so you can continue to repeat this until you feel ready for that next interview. All right, so that's my little mini lesson on how you can use AI to supercharge your interviews. I'm actually going to come back to my little presentation and just review those steps one more time. So just to repeat, step number one, set up the simulation by providing your AI with sufficient context to create a really tailored experience. And really, it's up to you with how much information you provide to make sure that this is the most meaningful and targeted for you. Remember, AI is only as good as how much information that you give it. Step two, conduct the interview. Um, Unlike my example, when you're actually doing this simulation, make sure that you're responding as if you would do in person. By taking this seriously is how you can actually get this practice to be very effective and very meaningful. And then step three, analyze feedback. Review and understand the AI's feedback to improve on interview performance. And you can ask more questions about where you can change, how you can change, give them sample quotes that you can consider next time, maybe some ways to kind of formulate your responses, and maybe even some shortcuts to kind of help you remember these things in the moment. So these are just 3 simple steps on how you can supercharge your interviews with using AI. Just to wrap up here, we just want to share on April 30th, we have a AI in Action conference hosted by LAPU. We would love for you all to attend. This is a great opportunity to connect with fellow educators to really talk about all these new strategies and practices around how we can really implement AI in education ethically and equitably. Thank you so much for taking the time to come watch my stream. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night.